Hello guys and welcome to a new Wargame video today by me Vulcan. Today I have for you a 2 versus 2 on Gunboat Diplomacy, and this is the first of a few games from the 7th BTR Flash tournament which took place a few weeks ago. Today we have two teams. We have B5P on the blue side and we have Siege Condoms on the red side. Now I'm just going to have a look at the start here to see what B5P are up to. It seems that they're starting with quite a significant amount of troops on the right side here. We've got some M2A1 Bradley IFVs. I'm really interested to see how these work. Not many people use them on the decks because they don't think that the vehicles are worth the price that they cost. But they've likely got, I guess, riflemen in them. That will probably be a nice choice for these forests here. And they're going to be supported by two M109-7 Avengers. Now the Avengers are a really nice vehicle that come with 8 infrared missiles, I think, and they can fire them off really quickly, so incredibly good at taking down helicopters and any aircraft that get into range. We've got an LAVC2 from Namarautu, and that is going to be defending Bravo. Also got a UH-60A Blackhawk here, probably with Rangers, I would presume. It's a recon squad though, so yeah, probably Rangers. Then we've got, over on the left, the majority of B5P's deployment. 3 Panzer Mortar M113s. We've got a Flak Panzer Gepard here with 4 M36s, which are basically they're Wolverines from World War II. Then we've got an Iltis Kado. That's going to be going to Echo, I would presume. And then we've got another Iltis Kado just here, which is going to be capping Delta. So this unit composition just here looks like it's a mix of both American and German units. So I'm guessing we've got Namarauta playing an American deck, and we've got Pazvoltu playing a German deck. So that's pretty interesting, a nice mix of units here. If I let that keep playing, we've got 4 Marder 1A3s, probably with Panzer Grenadiers. Then we've got an FB103 Spartan there. We've got an M109-7 Avenger, 2 B105s with Navy SEALs most likely. We've got an FRP Roland 3, some heavy radar AA there. Flak Panzer Gepard A1, there's 2 of those. We've got MBT-70s, one of my favourite tanks. Very similar to the KPZ-70 Kyler. They are pretty much the same tank, it's just that these variants are the prototypes and they have the HGM that they can fire from their main gun. Then we also have a SPZ-11-2 Kurz. It's nice to see them back in the mix. Anyone who played European Escalation will remember that they came standard as part of your army. Then we've got 4 M113A1Gs with Jaegers, I would presume, and that is about it, alongside this M1A1 HA Abrams. That's a Marine Abrams. Over on the enemy side, we have what looks like 2 BTR ZD Strezets. I'm not sure what's going to come in them. Possibly Factorias, but most people use Strezets for things like Conkers because the Strezets are quite expensive APCs, but they are nice for a little bit of air defense. Then we also have the use of a MTLB Strenler 10M, which is an infrared AA vehicle, BTR 90 on the left here, another T55 A and B, and a UAZ, which is going to be holding on to India at the back, and another one at the front, which I presume is going to be going up and capturing Charlie. We've also got the infamous MI25 S24 right there, and an MI2 for recon. Over on the right, we have 4 MI8Ts. Not sure what they're going to be bringing in, but this big clump of Siege Condoms is going to be a ton of KPZ T72s. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at the front there. Supported by 2 PHZ-70s, which are napalm launchers. We've also got 3 BMP-2s there. They are the East German variant, so I would say that they're going to be bringing in Motschützen. We've got 2 BMP-3s, 4 BMP-3s actually, 1 ZL-130 with the recon squad, and then we've got Strzelecki 10M and another one following up. So both teams sort of joining together, I think. Actually, no, they're not. That's interesting. We've got only a few troops from Please No Johns on the right. The majority of them are Jimmy Loves Johns. So it looks like Please has taken over the left, and it looks like Jimmy is going to be taking over the right. So it's going to be interesting to see how they micro. What's going on this side is we've got, okay, riflemen with M2A1 Bradleys covering the bridge, and then they're going to be focusing the majority of their efforts on this left side near Foxtrot and Gulf and trying to capture this city. Now, I didn't really go over much about the map, but you'll see that the main contention comes with this side of Gulf and also this side of Foxtrot. If the red side players can't get their troops onto the other side of the river at the start of the game, then the majority of the time the red side will lose, because the blue side is just so much more effective due to the cover on that side of the river. But you can see that the blue team's already got Navy SEALs into this compound, and they're going to absolutely destroy these Motschützen very, very easily. We've got a mix of Panzer Grenadiers and the Marder 1A3s here using their HGMs in order to take out these KPZ T72s. I'm going to try and avoid pausing as much as possible, but please bear in mind there is going to be a lot to cover. As you can see, a bomber's already coming in there. We've got another F-15D Eagle coming in, probably with another 4 1,000 kilogram bombs, going to be dropped right on top of all these T-72s, going to stun the crap out of them. It's likely that we already saw one of them come in, but the thing is with those 1,000 kilogram bombs, they actually do a serious amount of damage to these KPZ T-72s, and then they can just be finished off by the autocannons of the Marders. We also can't forget, with this Yak coming in, actually, that's going to drop a nice amount of bombs onto this Panzer Grenadier squad, I think. Yep. But we mustn't forget about the 2 MBT-70s, which are supporting this M1A1 Abrams, which have just annihilated those KPZ T-72s. And luckily these BMP-3s were just out of range in order to side-shot the Abrams as it moved across the field there. But currently they're firing at this MBT-70. Now the MBT-70 will be able to take a few shots into the front armour before it gets taken out, but you wouldn't want to sit there for much longer. Another Yak's come in and managed to drop his bombs directly on top. Oh, that is a huge strike there. 4 500 kilogram bombs being dropped right on top of these tanks, which were clumped right up together, and that's a huge loss for the blue team, as they have managed to get rid of that M1A1 Abrams and the 2 MBT-70s there. So a massive blow to the blue side forces, but they still have a nice presence in this compound, which is going to allow them to maintain control of the Gulf sector. So we've already got reinforcements coming up from the blue team. Furthermore, we got even more coming up from the red team, as we can see the ZSD-63As coming up alongside the BMP-1Ds. So what they're going to do is they're going to use these PHZ-70s to provide a napalm cover as they move up the forces in their APCs. Now what I don't like really is how spread out these napalm launchers fire their rockets. You can see it's all over the place, and really they needed to focus more on this compound just to make sure that they were most effective. Another F-15D Eagle comes in there and absolutely annihilates that small push of ZSDs and the infantry that were inside them. It looks like they were holding Zhanshi, so that's going to stop those Zhanshis from probably taking out this Jaeger squad and the 2 Navy SEAL squads sitting right there And unfortunately, the longer they stay alive, the harder it will be for Red Team to win. So at the back, we do see this Mi-25 S24 snuck around the side. It's a shame that Jimmy hasn't moved this sooner in order to take out these undefended CVs at the back of these two capture points. It's most likely that they've actually forgotten that they even moved that up on that side, and it's a real shame they didn't take advantage of that. Anyway, we do have an AV-8A Harrier coming in here with two 500 kilogram bombs. They're going to drop them directly on top of these two BMP3s if they can. Nope, looks like they are going to get the small recon squad there. The Strezets weren't able to do enough cannon damage there to the Harrier to take it out. But now we have a skirmish going on in the blue side of Foxtrot. Looks like Please has managed to get a few infantry squads across, but they are being mown down by the MG3 of the Panzer Grenadier and the autocannons of the Marder 1s. You can also see these 4 units of Zanshi dropped off by these ZSDs have moved up into this compound now, but will be facing off against some pretty mean troops. We've got some more Panzer Grenadiers coming in alongside more Jaegers, and if he can't get more Zanshi to defend, well, I'm not sure they're going to last too long. Over on this side, the Navy SEALs doing an amazing job of destroying the Motorshoki 90 squads. We've also got 3 BMP-1Ds right here though, and the Navy SEALs have nothing to deal with APC, so they are going to get more units of Motorshoki, the red side, into this compound, which will hopefully help take out the remaining of these Navy SEALs. And at the moment, this isn't looking too great for the blue side. We'll see if they can make a difference with these bombers. 2 F-15D Eagles coming in, one dropping 4 1,000 kilogram bombs onto these Motorshoki. Didn't destroy them all, managed to destroy the APCs, but one Motorshoki squad survived. We've got the Zanshi that were here have now been wiped out by the Eagle as well. So it doesn't look like the blue side even needed to really engage their infantry in order to take those out, which is really nice because it's going to allow them to have a consistent presence in the blue side of Foxtrot. So that's nice to see. Just about managed to get these Jaegers into rocket range of the ZSD, so that's going to help take them out and give him a bit more presence in the blue side of Foxtrot. This AH-64D longbow though coming and is taking out one of these BMP-3s. Now BMP-3s aren't something you really want to lose lightly. They only cost 35 points. But the trouble is with them is they're such valuable units. They have the amazing 2,800 meter range on their HGM, which has a 21 AP power. So not something you really want to waste, especially with their low availability on decks. So at the back now, you can see the Mi-25 being utilized. It did manage to take out the CV in Bravo, but unfortunately didn't get the jump on this Iltis Kado, as it looks like the blue side managed to bring in a Flak Panzer Gepard A1 and an AV-8A Harrier with its infrared missile to help take that down. Now we've got a push coming in on the left side of Foxtrot. These Marder 1s, however, being picked off very easily by these Conkers squads that are going to be firing into the side of those Marders. And that has left the Panzer Grenadiers very vulnerable to these VDB squads, and therefore that push was wiped out. So that looks like it was 4 Marder 1s, probably with Panzer Grenadiers, and also what looks like some M113s as well with Jaegers. So they lost quite a lot there. 4 1,000 kilogram bombs coming in again with the F-15D Eagle. Did do a serious amount of damage to these VDV that were out in the open. They didn't manage to get into this compound in time, which meant they weren't in cover, therefore they took a ton of splash damage there. The H-64D longbow being cheeky, managing to get another kill onto a BMP-3 there. I'm pretty sure they'd like to see that kill this T-62 MV-1. Is that another Mi-25? Looks like it was. The S-24 variant being shot down by this Avenger that went to defend Bravo. They have replaced the CV in Bravo now. Now we see the use of this EA-6B Prowler. Oh, I did manage to take out the book M1, which does allow the blue side to continue using their eagles. Another book on the other side of the river, though, has run out of missiles, but it did manage to shoot down one of the Harriers with the help of this MT LB Struzala 10M. So that's a good kill there. Oh, I was going to say, blue side needs to be careful there not to lose their M1A1 Abrams. Nearly got side-shotted by this T62MV, but fortunately the line of sight from these buildings is going to stop that from happening. The trouble is, if they're going to allow this to continuously fire HGMs, they may lose some significant units that are moving up this road, so they need to be really careful there. Now they're utilising these panzer mortars, though, to arty the book, which is a good move. Make sure that they try and get rid of that so that they can bring in the eagles once again. Now, the enemy team obviously doesn't know that that's out of ammunition, but it's always nice to get that high point unit off the field. We have some Jaegers skirmishing with Zanchi right here. Pretty sure they're going to bring in another bomber. Yep, F-15D Eagle again. Bringing in 4 1,000 kilogram bombs. They're going to sacrifice their Jaegers most likely. Oh, wow. That was a poor move from red side. They moved the Zanchi out of the compound as the bombs landed, and therefore lost the entirety of that squad. If they had them in the compound still, they may have lost a lot of them, but maybe not the entire squad. So that was a bit of a mistake there, I think, on the red side. We do have these BMP-3 nows, though, taking advantage of their HE-powered main gun in order to attack these Panzer Grenadiers that are moving across the open. If the blue side can get these Panzer Grenadiers into this compound, though, they will probably be able to deal with these Mostrelki squads pretty easily. Panzer Grenadiers are high caliber infantry with the shock training, so they are going to do a lot of damage to enemy forces in buildings. Another amazing strike there from the Panzer mortars with their 120mm mortars and the Eagle. Does look like it took out those two BMP-3s that were harassing him across this open ground. That is going to allow the blue side to move up these Marder 1s across the open and get more troops to reinforce their otherwise depleted units. So red side's finally decided to contest Foxtrot with this UAZ 469U that's sitting at the back of the sector there. But you can see that blue side is slowly pushing back the red side in these two contested sectors. And although this is inevitable if the red side don't push completely over, it can be avoided if the red team does get a serious amount of infantry into this compound. Because if the red side does manage to get across the river and occupy this, they can put HGMs and all sorts across all of these buildings, and that can make it a really hard time for the blue team to reinforce. But what I like at the back here is the Rangers, I believe, that were dropped off by the Black Hawk at the start. They have got their weapons turned off and they're just being used as recon at the moment in order to see any reinforcements that come from India. But the thing is, the trouble is with that, is that most of the reinforcements are instead going to be coming from Juliet because the fighting's taking place at Gulf. So it maybe would have been nice to see that move over to maybe this forest here. They would have got line of sight onto the reinforcement point into Juliet, and that would have probably worked out a bit better. The AH-64D longbow being utilised over on the left here in order to take out these BMP-1Ds that might make it hard for him to cross the river over there. You see the UH-60A Black Hawk is being used to test the air defence of the enemy. And that's basically all they're trying to do there, to make sure that the AH-64D longbow can actually get line of sight onto those anti-air vehicles and take them out effectively. So that's going to free up the AH-64D longbow to kill whatever he likes, wherever he likes. But he needs to be careful that he doesn't fly them directly over the top of these infantry squads, although that was an incredibly lucky hit there with a 30mm cannon. Did actually manage to kill off one of the remaining squads in that compound. So it looks like basically one unit of VDV had only one man left, and the cannon was lucky enough to hit it. This Gazelle AH-1 hovering low on the left here is probably going to spot the two Mi-8Ts far out on the left. I don't think they're going to worry about those though, unless they do start moving across their territory. But you can see now the blue team is only going to get more and more secure on this side of the river, and it's much harder to defend the opposite side of the river on this map. As you can see, this CV that's been left out in the open has been spotted, probably by the longbow. That is going to get bombed by the 4,000 kilogram bombs of the Eagle, but did just about manage to get away with that. That was incredibly lucky that I only got stunned there, especially considering it's on only 1 health. Now we see another 4 1,000 kilogram bombs. I'm going to be saying that a lot. It is bombing this compound. Unfortunately, no infantry there into kill for the blue team. But still, it's nice to see these persistent airstrikes coming in. But now, red team's getting desperate. They did bring in an Su-24M, did get shot down, but did get a couple of kills. Not really as many as they probably would have liked. So it looks like Jimmy's trying to push across using amphibious vehicles to avoid using the bridges, which is okay. But he's kind of timed it wrong, especially with the approach of these Marder 2s. They're still being shot in the side though by these Conkers. I think they would have been much better off smoking these Conkers than they would have actually smoking these buildings in front. Because although these VDV do have their long range heat rocket in the form of like 875 meter range, they're not half as powerful as the PTUR Conkers that keep auto sniping the Marder 1s as they come across the bridge. Is that another Su-24M there dead? Yes it is. And all that bombed was the already destroyed push from this centre bridge. Over on the left, it looks like they were successful getting over a couple of these Marder 1s. The VDV did get a nice shot there though onto one Marder 1, which entirely destroyed a Panzer Grenadier squad before they dropped out. But now all they got to do is really secure these buildings on the left side of the red team's side of Foxtrot, and they will gain full control of this sector. But another bomber coming in here. You can see it has been shot down, but it is dropping a huge payload onto this infantry. So let's see that take effect. And goodbye to that push. Now without infantry, it's going to be incredibly hard for the blue team to take control of that side. But with that bomber being shot down as well, red team seems to be losing all of their air support, and that is not looking good. Now the push here has managed to damage the defences quite significantly, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them try again. You can see them bringing up the Marder 1A3s and the M2A2 Bradleys here. This AH-64D longbow just got away with 1 health. That's pretty crazy. It's probably from these 2 Shilkers that came up. Also have a MTLB Shellatan M there, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them all getting mortared. Oh, there's another couple here, and they are indeed getting mortared. A Prowler comes in. Of course, these things are radar, so the Prowler can get a nice quick kill there. And we're also going to be seeing the F-15D Eagle come in and using its 4 1,000 kilogram bombs to see what it can hit, but it looks like that actually missed. But the reason that got out of there was because it has this 40% ECM, which does prevent a lot of the missiles from this Strela 10M from hitting, and also throws off the radar of these 23mm cannons. That's the only reason they really got away with that there. You can see now, with the blue team having the presence in this compound, it's going to make it very hard for the red team to contest it. And that's what you can see going on here. And that's why the red team isn't putting much resources into this area. They're more likely to try and defend this side of Foxtrot, because it's much more valuable in terms of strategic value. But other than that, there isn't really an incredible amount going on. We do have these mortars going to work on the air defences of the red team. All of the Shilkers are dead. Oh, and that's another Strela 10N. They're gone to these MBT-70s. Incredibly nice hit. And now the MBT-70s are going to be using their HGMs to try and destroy this BMP-1. Also got the M1A1 Abrams taking pot shots of the motor Strelky that have been left stranded on the road. We've got this M1 IP Abrams doing the same. So, doesn't look good for the red team right now. Again, mortars coming in, destroying the air defense of the enemy. Just continuous battery fire onto the enemy is just not good. Phantom 2 now as well, just to add insult to injury. 8 napalm bombs coming in there. That is going to push the infantry out of these buildings. The VDV will probably end up burning to death. Yes, you can see as they have been moved out of the compound there, they will indeed take quite a bit of damage. Fortunately enough though, they did miss the motor Strelky, so they're going to be there to be able to defend. Now we can see these Rangers coming into effect though. They are going to spot the reinforcements of these T-55s coming in. It's interesting how the road works here, isn't it? Having a great time bumping over that. But yeah, now that Foxtrot and Golf are both basically controlled by the blue team entirely on their side of the river, it's just so hard to continue contesting. And while the red team is doing a pretty good job of it at the moment by keeping their command vehicles alive, it's only a matter of time until these UAZs get spotted, because red team is just running out of forces. And you can see, unfortunately, it looks like the red team is going to decide to surrender. So Jimmy Loves Johns has left the game already. We're going to see the advance of these Marder 1A3s and Marder 1s on the left, and this is going to be the final push, which is going to give the killing blow, and it's just going to tell red team that, well, game over, as their last remaining units in Foxtrot are going to slowly be destroyed. So there you have it, guys. My first 2v2 competitive game cast. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this one. It wasn't a particularly interesting game in my opinion. I didn't really see anything that amazed me, just some luck here and there that pulled off, some vehicles pulled off some amazing kills, but other than that, I just think that the blue team had much more effective units. They had the Panzer Grenadiers that just took care of everything that they came across, as long as they weren't being taken out in the open. Then you also had the MBT-70s. I just think they're such an effective tank because of they have that autocannon and the main gun, incredibly good at destroying APCs and suppressing infantry at the same time. The F-15D Eagles just did so much damage. I don't think they lost either of them by the end of the game. And to be honest, I would have liked to have seen red team invest in more radar AA earlier in the game to get rid of those Eagles, because 4 1,000 kilogram bombs are always going to do a ton of damage, and that pretty much just annihilated their original push with the KPZ T-72s. And then after that, any group of infantry that they had in buildings was just being destroyed. Now, that's another thing to point out. Red team probably should have split up their infantry a bit more, had more sort of groups of 2 rather than groups of 4, because that was really hurting them when the bombers were coming in. But basically, I think blue team was basically given that victory because red team didn't understand that they needed to maintain a hold on blue team's side of the river. Unfortunately, that's just the thing with the map. Gunboat Diplomacy, I think, is a pretty unfair map. Maybe in the next couple of replays, we'll see a different map entirely. Anyway, please go ahead and tell me what you think of the game. Tell me what you liked, what you thought was good. It's always nice to hear your feedback. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. That was the first round of the 7th BTR Flash tournament. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.